So you're going to want to start off by showing the students the bag of the mixed balls and tell them that mixtures are made up of 2 or more different elements or compounds that can be separated, and then explain that each different colored ball represents a different element or compound. The balls aren't connected, so they are a mixture. You then want to tell your students that mixtures can be made with any combination of phases of matter, and tell them that there are 2 types of mixtures. Heterogeneous mixtures, where the different substances are unevenly mixed so that you can see them, and homogeneous mixtures, where different substances are evenly mixed so that you cannot see them. You want to show your students the jar with the sand and iron fillings, and explain to them that sand contains fragments of minerals, shells, and organic matter. Some can even contain a magnetic type of iron. Then tell students that separation by magnetism is a physical means of separation, and we use differences in physical properties of compounds to separate them from mixtures. Then you want to use the cow magnet that's in your jar to separate the iron fillings from the sand. Make sure you walk around and show the students the iron fillings that are on the magnet. Next, you want to ask the students what would happen if we mix the 2 jars of yellow and blue water together, and you should be getting a green solution. Then you want to ask them if it's a homogeneous mixture, and it is because the blue and yellow colors can't be seen individually, and then ask them if a chemical or physical change occurred. They should say a physical change occurred since the blue and yellow dyes are still present, but we just see them as green when combined. So for the next activity, a VSVS member is going to want to prepare the materials for each pair of students. So you're going to want to pour water to the fill line marked on the 16-ounce cups. Next, with a green pen, draw a line over the pencil line on the chromatography strip. Lastly, you're going to want to tape the paper strip to the wooden stick so that the tape goes around the stick and is taped to both the front and the back of the paper strip. So next you're going to want to pass out the chromatography paper on a stick and the 16-ounce cup of water along with a napkin, and then show students how to situate the stick on the cup. You also want to make sure the green line does not touch any water at the bottom of the cup. So after 5 minutes have passed and you've talked through the information on the lesson plan, tell them to remove the chromatogram from the cup and slide it off the stick onto the paper towel. They should also fill out their observation sheets for activity 1. So next, to do the suspect activity, you're going to want to pass out the chromatography paper, the tape, and a black pen to each pair of students. And you want to show them how to attach the paper strip to the stick with tape and tell them how to prepare the chromatography paper by writing the initials found on the pen at the very top of the strip, just under the stick. And you want to trace the pencil line at the bottom of your strip with your black pen. Then you're just going to tell them to place the stick over the cup like we did in the first activity and make sure the pen line isn't touching the water. I am just using the John fingerprint example, but also make sure that every pair of students has a different suspect. Wait about 5 minutes until the chromatogram has developed, and then tell your students to take the paper out of the cup and place it on their paper towel. Then ask students from each of the 4 different suspect groups to describe their chromatograms. Hold up the chromatogram so the class can see them. Tell the students that each pen has a unique chromatogram so we can identify the suspect. Next, you're going to want to pass out the laminated guilty person chromatogram to each pair. Tell them to compare the guilty to the one that they made and ask which groups have a match to our guilty person. Who is the culprit? And the answer should be PAM chromatogram or PC. Make sure they record their answers.